feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. For my patrons and subscribers, welcome my little astronauts. I'm so happy to have you. If you are new, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, like this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe. You will not regret it. Alright, so let's jump on to the main portion of today's video. It's very important that we talk about all the content, understanding it. But before we do, let's just do the quick disclaimer. This is being live streamed on June 28th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are interested in booking a reading with me, you can check the description below. Now, here are some quick disclaimers. Just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only, YouTube. And here are everything else, and that is all the information that you guys need to know. So let's jump into the main portion of today's video. If you have questions or content or information on the guy or other things as well, please feel free to include it, as it is very important, as I try to do as much research as possible, but I'm human and I can only do so much. But anyway, we have a little chest. So try to find out what is in the chest, or find out midway what is inside the chest. Is it an object? Is it a crystal? I just did a little intuition chest here for you. So I'll just leave this over the side so you can come out with brand new thing. This is a brand new setup. Grass gives it a more natural type feeling and look. Alright, so let's jump into the main portion of today's video. Hi Jazzy, hi Doris, hi Sharon, what's up love? Thank you all for coming. So I'm going to give you a quick update on everything that is currently happening in terms of all the information you need to know about John Mcafee, or however you pronounce his name. Alright, so let's read this. Alright, so let me see. So he is the guy, this is his logo for his company logo. He was the creator of Mcafee. He was born September 18, 1945 in the United Kingdom. He died on June 23rd, 2021 in Barcelona, Spain. His age was 75. How did he die? Suicide in Spanish jail with suicide note. Autopsy confirmed this today. He was married to Janice Dyson from 2013 to 2021 and Judy Mcafee from whoever knows when and to 2002. He was divorced in 2002 to Judy Mcafee. These are the books that he wrote. And mostly, he was a computer nerd. He was somebody who created computer viruses and things that combat like malware and stuff like that. What was he known for? He was creating the world's first and anti-malware and combating computer viruses. The role that was really important when I was researching this, I was actually shocked about how much information there is about this guy. The QAnon role said that he owned a building in Florida. Condo collapsed. It was ruled not true. The U.S. politics, he wanted to be a libertarian candidate in both presidential election of 2016 and 2020. The widow, Janice Dyson, said her husband did not appear suicidal when they last spoke. She later added that she demanded a thorough investigation of her late husband's death. He later added his last words to me was, "I love you and I will call you in the evening." She said they spoke earlier on the day he was found dead. Those words are not words of somebody who is indeed suicidal, she added. John Mcafee's Twitter, 2 years before his death, John Mcafee posted a tweet saying, if I suicide myself, I didn't, I was whacked. This came later after the death of Jeffrey Epstein, which he later posted as well, that Jeffrey Epstein's death was not a suicide. In his last public tweet on June 18th, John Mcafee wrote, "All power corrupts. Take care what power you allow a democracy to wield." Reason for jail time: John Mcafee was arrested at the Barcelona airport in October 2020 of last year on a warrant issued by prosecutors in Tennessee who were seeking up to 3 decades of imprisonment for allegedly evading more than $4 million in taxes. Mcafee died on Wednesday in Barcelona, Spain, shortly after a court ruled that he could be extradited on the U.S. tax evasion charges. Janice Mcafee told reported, "I blame the U.S. authorities for this tragedy because these politically motivated charges against my husband is now dead." The national court said that John Mcafee had provided no evidence to back his allegation. that he was being politically prosecuted. On the contrary, according to his own testimony, he took part in primaries of certain parties to defend his conviction, with the results little favorable to him, the judge wrote in the ruling seen by AP or Associated Press. Edward Snowden, after John Mcafee's death, Edward Snowden had a warning for Julian Assange. He could be next. Edward Snowden is and was a U.S. whistleblower and has warned WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. And here are the sources that I found some of this information from. So, of course, you want to look this up. Most of this is just skimmed from Titled and important information. This was indeed a blind reading. So I just wanted to give you information in case you didn't know who this individual was or that you've not been paying attention to the news. So let's jump right back into where we were before. Okay, perfect. So now we have all the information that we have. So there you go. So you have all the information that you need. Everything in the background, understanding, particularly for me as well, will be very helpful for us when we reading. Okay. I have not heard about him for a long time. I wonder if he did hang himself. He was a dark person, has some dark sex fetishes, one interesting individual person. Interesting. I don't really know a lot of who these people are. I sometimes wonder if those people were framed. Now, I'm not saying that this should be any way or any form for them to get a slap on the wrist or that it didn't happen. I don't know, because the government is indeed that corrupt. The government will do whatever it is to frame somebody of wrongdoing. So I don't know. But let's take a quick look. Let's read on this. Let's talk about it. It's Murder Mystery 101. So let's have some fun, okay? And if you have any guys recommendations for other people, definitely do not feel free to put it in the comment section below this video. All right, let's jump into this. All right, so the first thing is let's talk about John Mcafee. Let's talk about him. Conspiracy, so tell me about John Mcafee. Did he really commit suicide? Okay. Okay, they're telling me about him and who he is. Oh, he hated the U.S.? Thank you, Jazzy. That's interesting. All right. So we have here as well as we have the Queen of Wands. We have the Libertarian Party. That's interesting. The Libertarian Party seems to do well in the southwest of the country. Right? That would be like where New Mexico, Texas is. We have here as well, he had many opportunities, many things, but he feels like there's so much cloudiness about what is happening because this is Associated Press. He's the only one that really knows what exactly happened and hear all the information that we think we know, but it's really just been cloudy information by the media. We have here as well, though, this is indeed true. The tax invasion part is indeed true, right? He was invading taxes. That was just for entertainment purposes only. We also have here as well, he did try to take the easy way out. So it does feel like this might not be what we think it is. But again, we don't know exactly what's going on. This could be the energy that he wanted, but didn't mean that he did it. We have here as well him trying to escape troubled waters to smoother, calmer waters. We have here refusal of an offer. Maybe he was offered to have himself hanged in order to protect people that he loved. It could be something like that as well, because there is a refusal to do that, and that he's going to lose the money anyway, regardless of how he did it. He was the fool. He took the money. This with the stock market. He did something with the stock market here. We have the paper stores coming in hot and new. He wasn't very mature with his money, and because of it, he got involved with dark energy, dark waters, and because of it, he got on the radar of many democracies around the world, and that he was a wanted man. So regardless, it does feel like whether he actually committed suicide or not, it would have happened anyway, because it does feel like to me that he is a wanted man. Like regardless, he is wanted. Because at the end, we have here the Ace of Swords, and this is somebody who was taking a knife and shoving the incumbent, was trying to get rid of somebody, or trying to silence them, right? So that is the bottom of the deck here. So this is what we need to know about John Mcafee. Jazzy. It's been believed that he was murdered his neighbor over a dog. I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. He was always saying how corrupt the U.S. was, and he was a wanted man. The U.S. wanted him badly. Yeah, that is true. The U.S. is indeed corrupt. Like, if you really think about it, when the U.S. went to Iran, Iran, excuse me. In the 1960s, Iran was a free country where women could wear whatever they wanted, and they believed in still Islamic ideologies and beliefs. And so when the U.S. came over, they started putting people in power who started creating patriarchy, where they put men in power who are abusing and raping and doing all those type of things to women and men as the like. So yes, in degree, yes, U.S. is a very well-known evil entity, is the way I could put this. All right, so let's talk about this more. Let's talk about John Mcafee. I already knew the U.S. was corrupt, and I have a lot more information I would love to share with you guys about it. But of course, I can't do it on the YouTube platform, so I am making a Patreon where I can more openly talk about it without being silenced by YouTube. And it's about the truth of the U.S., the actual real truth, and how the U.S. and Nazi Germany are very alike. All right, so let's see what other information we could talk about in terms of John. All right, let's talk about the QAnon role. What QAnon writes, Spirit Things will tell me, what QAnon writes that John Mcafee had information or documents hidden or owned a building, whatever it is, in the condo that currently collapsed a few days ago in Florida. We'll talk about that for a second. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Okay, so we have tempers in the back, right? We have tempers first. That's in the past, right? The balance, understanding that there needs to be a good difference between good and evil, the duality of it. There is some sense of duality. I don't know exactly what this is referring to, but there is a sense of duality here. We have here him being offered a cup or a deal. It does feel like he may have took it, or that he was offered but refused. So maybe he was given, maybe this could potentially be a setup to try to link him to the condo and blame him for it, because that would be the obvious one to blame. Because there is a sense here that there's the King of Pentacles. He said no. Potentially, he may have said no. He said, no, I'm worth keeping my money and putting it elsewhere. So maybe it does feel like, I'm using my intuition here. It does feel like what I am seeing is that he was offered it but refused it. Then because he refused it, he was better off because he made more money doing what he did instead of buying out condos. Maybe he wasn't like a veto. Maybe that was something that he may have been interested in the past. So we do have here as well, he wanted to not get caught. So there is something here that he was maybe potentially hiding, not necessarily in the condo, but there is something here. Maybe someone like a condo. But it wasn't that condo. It does feel like he does hide. Maybe he is faking death, or maybe that wasn't him, really him. That could have been someone who looks like him. Because we do have here, as well as we do have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Unhappy family. So we have information on somebody. And it does feel like it could be a presidential contender. Because we do have here, is we do have the Knight of Pentacles. The information has been passed on to another individual. So this individual, whoever this person is, does have this information. So whether he died doing it, the information already got passed on. So if anything, what I'm seeing here, that this could be one of those things where they're trying to pass information through certain information, through different transportation, different means. That even though he was targeted in a way that wasn't told to the public. So it does feel like as if he may be trying to, I don't know, I'm not trying to say I endorse his behavior, but he may be trying to overtake the government to some degree. But we do have here as well, we do have the Emperor, so this could be an order from the president. We do have here a Democrat, so it could be Biden who have made this order. Now, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Remember, I'm just the reader and the messenger. Do not shoot me just because you don't like something I said. You can just simply ignore it. But we have here as well, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So there is some sense of ignorance around this information that is being revealed. Maybe they were lacking information. Maybe the government wasn't looking in areas that it was supposed to. So we do have here as well as the Ace of Pentacles. It feels like the information that they were looking for, they never found. They thought that by killing him, they will find information. And they thought it was the wife, but the wife doesn't have anything. So it feels like, I don't know what is going on here, but this is a lot bigger than I anticipated going into this reading. This is more like, like a nice murder mystery series. At the bottom of the deck here, we have Donald Trump's presidency leaving office. So what this tells me is that he had to do something with the 2020 election. That he was running an election too, or tried to at least. All right. Let's see what other information that we can gather from this entire reading. If you guys have questions or things that you would like me to touch on this guy specifically, let me know. Because I'm just trying to cover all the bases here, but it's kind of hard trying to do all this by yourself. So be patient with me. All right. So we have here the U.S. politics. Let's talk about the U.S. politics and his involvement in being a libertarian candidate. So Spirit Angel, tell me, what do we need to know about why John Mcafee thought it was a great idea to run in U.S. politics? Why did he think it was a good idea? Okay, well, that's a lot of cards. Okay, I know what he was doing. He's trying to pull us Trump. That's what he was doing. But we have here in the past, he made some shady dealing, right? Shady dealing. He got in trouble with the IRS and the investigators, but he was never be able to be caught. But there was a plan in the making. He was planning a presidential run and hoped that if he become president, he now has an exemption and that he can kind of do the same thing Donald Trump was doing, is by evading and having the presidential protection protect him from experiencing jail time. That's what his goal is. So the reason why he ran for president is because he was trying to evade jail time or imprisonment. So that's interesting, right? Okay, it's a lot harder than I thought trying to like mix these up. So give me a moment. Okay. Okay, well that's on me. That's on me. Sorry guys. Alright, so let's see. What else? Alright, so let's talk about the suicide and the suicide note in the autopsy being confirmed today that he committed suicide. Okay, Spirit Angel Tommy with the autopsy confirming that he committed suicide and that he left a note, despite the fact that he tweeted out 2 years ago, in 2019 or 2018, tweeted out that if anyone wants to kill him, or he was to be announced that he committed suicide, that he would be he has been whacked or been killed. What do we need to know about this? Okay. All right. Well, the same cards came out, except one. All of them are here. So we have the Star card in reverse, right? Democracy in reverse. And so we have here, this was not a very democratic leader or somebody who had good intentions. We have here the Chariot, right? Going into this. This is the ambulance. So it does feel like the only time someone will go to an ambulance is when they're injured or hurt, right? Or if they are found dead. Sometimes we do have here as well. We do have the Queen of Wands, and that's in reverse. And what this tells me is that this was not a spiritual thing. This was a physical thing. There was something out of physical reality. What tells me is that in our timeline, John Mcafee dies, but in other timelines, he lives. Which is weird. I never got that before. But we have here as well. We have the Emperor in reverse, and part of it is this had nothing to do with the current government. The public government, the government where the leaders, it may have been something like a dark secret government. It's more like the information that I am receiving, more of the dark information. This is just for entertainment purposes only, right? We do have here as well as we do have the Knight of Pentacles, and the reason why this is so significant and important is that there is some sort of information that is given. Someone gave the order, but it's not the government. It's not the leader of Spain, not the leader of the U.S. Someone gave the order though, and it could be somebody who is in the dark side, maybe the dark side of politics, maybe not in the public limelight. But we do have here Trouble. Trouble follows this individual wherever he goes. Maybe, again, we have here the Tower card. So Trouble follows him. Regardless, he was supposed to be struck. So if anything, what I'm seeing here is that, again, for entertainment purposes only, it was not suicide. That's what I'm seeing. What we have here, what gets me, the U.S. was after him for things that Trump had gotten away with. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, they're really trying to go after somebody who's rich, who actually did the same thing all the politicians, all the rich guys like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk did in terms of money, and yet he's being penalized for $4 million when they invaded about $2.7 trillion for each separate one of them. So, I mean, why $4 million when you can get 2.7 trillion doesn't make sense to me. So there is something here that we're not understanding. So yes, I agree with you. Okay, so let's talk about Janice Dyson, or Janice Mcafee now as her last name because she was married to him. She said her husband did not appeal. Let me just put this on the screen so you can see it. Okay, there you go. So she said that her husband did not appear suicidal when they last spoke. She later added that she demanded a thorough investigation of her late husband's death. She later added that the last word to me was, "I love you, and I will call you in the evening." The evening is like nighttime. So if he died sometime early in that day, that means why would he say evening if he died earlier, right? And those words are not words of somebody who is suicidal. And yes, I agree with that. So let's take a look. So let's talk about Janice Dyson. Okay. So spirits and angels, for Janice Dyson, what role does Janice Dyson plays in this in terms of the investigation going forward? What role does Janice Dyson play in John Mcafee's death going forward? What do we need to know about this? Okay. I feel bad for this lady. I do. I feel really bad. Because we have here as well as we have the Three of Swords, right? She's heartbroken. First of all, she's heartbroken. She's a widow. She really loved the man, and she really wanted people to see the good in him. We have here as well, we have the Queen of Wands. She's a very lighthearted person, but has taken a lot of toll on her. I do feel like she is telling the truth, but can't tell them exactly everything that is going on. Or what exactly happened. It feels like she left something down. Maybe she was telling her, listen, if I don't make it back, you know what happened. And so maybe he may have told her the truth. That's why she left out some things as well. It does appear that to be. But we do have here as well as we do have the Five of Pentacles. And what this tells me is that she is never going to see the money that he has left for her. And that is because it's going to be seized by the government, or that his ex-wife is now going to try to go after it. Because we have here as well as we do have the Knight of Cups in reverse, and that crosses the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands, right? I mean, the Three of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And the reason why this is so significant is that this is not an emotional thing. This is not emotional right now. She's trying to keep her head on and keep on her head high, because now she has to fight for the money, and she has to fight for her husband's image to be cleared. It does feel like she knows information that we don't know. Maybe she may escape to Russia, but it does feel like Julian Exchange and Edward Snowden do play a role in that. There is some sense of role and advocacy here that I'm starting to notice there is some sort of role here. But we have here as well, we have the Page of Pentacles, the National Reverse. Information that she's not given us. So that's the role that she's going to play in this investigation. We have here as well the transfer of money. She has information, so she may have been one of those people, like I said earlier in the video, who were transporting information to another individual, giving documents that he left behind for her to transport, and that's how it got to the other individual. Because we do have here as well as we do have the Knight of Pentacles, and she may or may not ever see that money. And that money is very important for her, because it's not the money, it's the things that come with the money. So for example, protection, security, and stuff like that. And this also tells me as well that some of the money that is being written, some of the messages are in coins and the dollar bills, that they're not real, they're just fake, so they can easily be transported. That's how they do it. And we have the Two of Pentacles, and it could go either way. It's going to be a very rocky time for her. She may or may not win this. She may not win, no. She loses. She loses the investigation. They're going to stay ruled by suicide, and that's it. They're going to probably cancel her, not even give her an option to do another thing. So if you have questions, put in the live chat right now. I'm going to go to ad or break so I can drink some water because my throat is thirsty. Have you ever wondered how you can submit your own questions or reviews, whatever video recommendation, or you feel like I'm not responding back to your messages because particularly it may have been getting buried in YouTube comment section? Well, do not worry, I have a solution for you. So go to my most recent video and you will find here, just say for example, this video, right? The evidence and you go to the description and you hit right here, submit your question and topic or video request here. You click on that and it'll take you to my website where you can find tons of different things. You can even donate to India for the help with COVID-19. You can book a reading with me. This is my website. You will go to my YouTube channel and hit submit your video request here. It will take you to a Google form and you guys can fill out all your questions here. And you can type in your question. All right, perfect. All right, so I finally got quenched and third. Let's put up Jackie question. So, does anyone know if you had ever had dealings with Trump, since this guy has some dark sexual behaviors, who's also like young girls before his now wife? Okay, so let's take a look. I actually brought the card, the deck that represents Jeffrey Epstein. So we'll be using that, and we'll also be using Kipper. So stay tuned for this. All right, so let's take a look. 3 cards, Spirit saying, so please tell me, did John Mcafee make any sort of dealings with Donald Trump? Okay. All right, fuchsia, yes or no? Final answer. Yeah. Yep. 100%. Yes. This is for entertainment purposes only. We have here as well, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Money was given in the past. There's some transfer information. Remember, I said he played a major role in the 2020 election with the involvement of Donald Trump's loss. And I'll talk about this and Donald Trump's grand plan and how he wanted to lose in 2020. We have here as well, we have the Knight of Wands. And he played a role in helping Donald Trump leave the presidency. Because Donald Trump is going to come back. But the question is, will he be able to get there and be able to execute the rest of his plan? Part of the rest of the plan is, I'm going to tell you right now, that Donald Trump said he's going to drain the swamp. By draining the swamp, he means go into power, realize the people who are in the swamp, get rid of the people who are not loyal to him throughout that reign, erase them so when he goes back into power, he had loyalists back into his office or power. So it means that he will do whatever he wants without any sort of like Mitt Romney, getting rid of Mitt Romney, getting rid of those people who could be an obstacle for him. So that is what one thing I am seeing here, because he had a lot of information. Yes, I do see like they have met many times before and that there was an exchange of information, whatever that may be, but there is some sort of exchange. Yes, 100%. John Mcafee and Donald Trump, did indeed do this. All right, so let's take a quick look with the women. Let's get an idea while we're waiting. Please take a nice look at the chart. Use your intuition. What's inside that chart? What object are? Is it a crystal? Who knows? I'll give you a moment to use your intuition. Try to figure out the color, the number, anything, or object it is, shape of it, anything. And how many things are in this chest? Thank you, Jazzy. All right, so Spirit saying, so tell me, what do we need to know about John Mcafee? What do we need to know about John Mcafee? About him and, Jeffrey Epstein relations in terms of liking little girls, including Donald Trump, but we already know that. You can push that outward. What do we need to know about this? What do we need to know about this? All right, so some of these pictures on these cards are very graphic. I just want to put that out there now. So if you guys want to give the comments or what you think it is, please try to, not say it in the comment section. Try to, hide it or subliminal do it so that you don't ruin it for other people. Okay, one card, please. Let me just take the top and bottom. I hope you guys really can't see it because it's disgusting. All right. All right, so let's open this first. So let's see what's inside the chart to see if you were right. So the first one that we have here is a number 3. So if you got 3 right, or you got square or white or black, you're correct. Where is it? A 3 here. Then we have another 3. So again, same thing. If you got 2 objects and a crystal, you are correct. We have here this weird crystal. If you got like a pointy thing that kind of like Washington Monument with a little bit of pink and green, you are indeed correct. This is the crystal. Okay, good. So now that we got that, let's get your angel numbers so you can see what message you guys have for you today. Angel number comes through right now. Okay, so you have here 3, 2. So the angel number is 3, and then 2. Let's get one more number. Angel number. We have 4, 4. So 3, 2, 4, 4. So that is your number. If you've been getting 4, 4, 4, or 3, 3, 3, or 2, 2, 2, that's your number as well. All right, you got 3. Good. So let's see. So we have here as well as we have the World card in reverse, and this is very interesting. There's a lot of blood here, and I'm not going to show it to you out of inappropriateness, so I'm not going to show you. But it kind of looks like a satanic cult a little bit. It looks more like a satanic cult. This is a woman who's in a bathtub surrounded by red fluid with a guy who is lowering over her body. Now, I'm not sure if she's dead in this picture. Who even knows? It's just for entertainment purposes only. There's some sense of bestiality in this as well. We have here, we have the spade, or known as the 6 of Swords. And so this is somebody who is very aggressive. It's the opposite of somebody who's very passionate with their partner, right? The future card here, we have the Knight of Wands, and these are 2 women. 2 women coming off onto a horse, riding through the rave. He gets off on lesbian people, basically, the best way to put this. And that he likes that type of thing. But also he kind of hates them at the same point. We have here as well, this is more like a colder. This is kind of like a corpse. And this is somebody who is, dark, doing it with a corpse. It's how I will leave this. So yes, it does feel like there is some sense of energy, the connection between them kind of doesn't feel quite like Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe Jeffrey Epstein might be a lot darker, but definitely not what I anticipated. All right, so let's see. What else do we want to talk about today? Let's talk about what does John Mcafee mean when he said this? So let's take a look. Okay, so John Mcafee said in June 18th, his last Twitter post, wrote, "All power corrupt, take care of which power you allow a democracy to wield." So let's take a quick look at that. Don't always depend on dice. Don't depend on the dice to always be there. There might be something different. All right, so Spirit Angels, tell me, what did he mean about democracy and allowing democracy to wield certain power? What does that mean? What does John Mcafee mean by that? That's interesting. It spot my eye right away. What did he mean? Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. So we have here in the passages, we have the 3 of Swords. Again, the 3 of Swords, right? He knows something that we're not being told. Jaji, it feels like he's not it's not as dark as anticipated. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's dark, but he's not doing it with girls, more like corpse or animal, if you know what I mean. He's dark, that's dark, but not the way Jeffrey Epstein was. Jeffrey Epstein was human. Not saying that, animal thing, stuff like that is not wrong. I say all of it is wrong. It does feel like he doesn't do it as frequent as Jeffrey Epstein, if you know what I mean. So we have here as well as we have the 3 of Swords. This is very important because it talks about the heart, the love and the compassion, driving a stake through the heart. It's the center. In order to kill a vampire, you must put a stake through the heart, right? We have here as well, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 the cup in reverse. And I talked about the path, but this is the future, and that is what's being crossed by the moon. So the moon is something that reveals hidden things, like things that are kept hidden that will be exposed. So it does feel like in a matter of time, something's going to come out in the future about the government and their involvement in something that is going to shake a lot of people, and it will be very victorious for a certain amount of people. Maybe a lot of those people who were killed will be seen as heresies, or people who were killed because they were being silent. Now, I'm not saying that this applies to John Mcafee, but I am referring to people who have good intentions, of course, but have been framed. So, like the Innocent Project. If you know what that is, the Innocent Project is just people who try to fight and get people out of jail who were proven wrong in murder and still stuck in jail due to the current justice system. We have Heroes Rose, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and that falls under the Three of Wands. The Three of Swords, excuse me. And the reason why it's so significant that there is some sort of stop. There was something being stopped. That if they were the only way that they were able to commit the suicide ruling, that they had the heart gun. They meant to shot him with the heart gun. That stopped his heart, right? We have here as well that there is some sense of strength. There is some sort of political control. That the people realize that they have a little bit more control over their government than what the government is telling them that they have. We have here as well, though, that a lot of these people, again, like I said, will be freed out of jail. It does feel like, people end up going to come out of jail because they're going to be seen as saviors. Now, I don't know who this is talking about. We have here the Queen of Cups. It kind of feels like Statue of Liberty a bit, like sitting on a throne, but watching it very, very closely. And this is not the end of the world, so no. It's not the end of the world. It might just be the end of corrupt democracies. And having free and fair elections is what this could very well be. Now, remember, not all bad people are all bad. Some have good things about them. I'm not saying this applies to all, but he may have been giving you a message, no matter how bad or dark his past or history was, he may be trying to give you a little sense of hope. So who knows? All right, so let's take a nice look at the next thing. So let's talk about politically motivated thing. So Janice McFrey told reporters, "I blame the U.S. authorities for the tragedy because of these politically motivated charges against my husband, who is now dead." The national court judge said that John McFrey had provided no evidence on his alleged allegations that he was being politically prosecuted. On the contrary, according to his own testimony, he took part in the primaries of certain parties to defend things that favored his interests. So let's take a quick look at that. All right. Spirit Angels, what do we need to know about this? What does the death of John McFrey politically motivated? Yes or no? One card. Okay. Well, that's not an insurance thing. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Normally, when somebody has a knife, they will normally try to kill themselves or kill somebody else. And we have two boats in the background and the Two of Pentacles. Wasn't it normally three boats, though? But anyway, we have here Two of Pentacles, right? It's the unsure. The Tower cards are unsure. But the bottom of the deck keeps coming up as this, guys. They keep coming up as the Knight of Wands. I think this might be a QAnon conspiracy. This is what this could very well be. This could very well be a part of the QAnon conspiracy that maybe he played a role in some sort of QAnon conspiracy. You're welcome, Google Peace. I'll be going live right after this to talk about natural disasters. So a night change in energy, of course. So definitely jump onto that when you're done. Let's see. Is there anything else that we have not covered? Okay, let's talk about Edward Snowden. I think that's very important and very crucial to this topic. So let's talk about Edward Snowden. He said, after John McFrey's death, Edward Snowden has a warning for Julian Assange that he could be next. Edward Snowden is and was a U.S. whistleblower, and he had warned WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. So let's take a quick look at that as well. I think it would be very important and informative. Okay, so Spears Angels tell me, what do we need to know about this? Why did Julian Assange need a warning? Well, the government is coming after him next. Let's see. I don't hope I don't have to do another murder mystery on him because that would be kind of scary. Will Julian Assange be next? Let's just see. Spears and Angels tell me, will Julian Assange be next? Okay. I wonder if he took a part of Donald Trump too, because the card keeps coming out. Okay, let's just use the Von Kipper. Let's see. Okay, Spirit Angels tell me. Okay, Tommy, Spirit Angels. Is Julian Assange next in terms of death? Okay. That's okay. Now I'm getting scared. Okay. All right. So we have here as well. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of wands in reverse. And the reason why this is so important and why this is so crucial to this reading is the fact that this talks about things that are hidden that were supposed to happen. Now, this is not the meat in the card. This is what I'm getting in my intuition. The things that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, but it was supposed to. We have here as well, we have the Knight of Wands, right? This is the card that kept coming up throughout this entire reading about John Mcafee. John Ackley, whatever his name is. You know what I mean, right? So that is the Knight of Wands, right? And we have here is in the future, we have 3 of Cups in reverse, which tells me this is happiness. The fact that we have 2 Wands cards in a reversal of 3 of Cups, it tells me a lot. It tells me that he's not going to be happy what comes in the future. Because at the bottom of the card here, and I didn't see this before, I didn't even know I flipped this deck over. As we have here, we have the 4 of Cups. Again, we have the 2 Wands, 2 Cups, right? We have here the fact that he may actually take the offer because they're going to try to say, hey, listen, man, we can get you off the hook. We'll protect everyone as long as you take your life. Kind of thought it done. Not just for entertainment purposes only. But it does feel like that's the type of energy that we're seeing and going into this. Because the reason why the reason what scared me the most was the message. We have here the message card, right? Who said what? Edward Snowden told Julian Assange that he may be next, and that was the message, right? This is when this was sent, right? Right now we have John Mcafee, who just died. This is the card that represents him. Matt Ackfrey. Thank you, Jazzy. Right, this is the Knight of Wands. This is in the center. In the future here, we have the 3 of Cups in reverse, which told me, yes, he could very well be next. Because we have here the house. He may very well die where he is currently living right now. Wherever he lives right now for Julian Assange, he may actually pass away or be murdered in there. Within the next 20 days or 20 months, I'll say give or take. Or he may even die on the 20th. Okay, we have here is wealthy man. So we have here a wealthy man coming after him. So he may either be the wealthy man or someone coming after him because they want money or he owes something to somebody. We have here as well, we have Deep. Them trying to steal something that he has. And the thing that he has, and I'm being drawn to this light here, is the creation of the WikiLeaks. The thing that brought down Hillary Clinton was the WikiLeaks. Let's be real here. Besides also the cheating in the 2016 election, but the WikiLeaks played a major role in this, right? And the fact is that there is some sort of stealing going on. I don't know exactly what. I feel like it's behind government, more specifically. And we have here concern, 3. Right, 3, 3. So there is some sense of concern here. At the bottom of the deck here is we have jurisdiction. He's not going to get a trial. So whatever has happened is that he is not going to get a trial. It does feel like Julian Assange might be next. It might be next. Hi, Kay. What's up? Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you. So this is strange. This is kind of interesting, but also kind of scary. But hopefully we all experience a good outcome, and hopefully no one has to die for other people's games or lives. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hop on to the next live. I love you and have a very beautiful night. Bye.